Artificial intelligence is one of those things that's just full of contradictions. I mean, right now, at this very second, it's being used to do some absolutely incredible things, real game changers. But at the same time, it's also creating some seriously troubling new problems. So how do we even begin to wrap our heads around that?
So what's the verdict? Is it this miracle worker we hear about, or is it a menace? Well, the truth is, it's both. And you really have to get a handle on that duality if you want to understand where this technology is actually going.
All right, so to get a grip on this, we're going to look at a few things. We'll start with the best and the worst of AI, a medical miracle versus a big moderation crisis. Then we'll see what's up with the second go-around for AI wearables. And to wrap it all up, we'll dive into why the AI industry itself is so divided. Okay, let's kick things off with the good stuff, the incredible promise of AI. And honestly, one of the most powerful places we're seeing this is in healthcare. We're talking about diagnostics, where AI is, no exaggeration, literally saving lives. So let's talk about pancreatic cancer. It is one of the absolute deadliest cancers out there, mainly because it's just so tough to spot. Usually, by the time symptoms even show up, it's too late for treatment to be effective. That's why you see this horrifying number, a 10% 5-year survival rate. It's grim. And in a fight like this, finding it early, well, it's everything. So check this out. A hospital in China is running a pilot program using an AI to screen routine CT scans. And this system, it can spot the faintest, tiniest signs of tumors without needing the radioactive dyes that are used in normal screenings. That's huge because it means they can use it on a massive scale, super safely, and find signs of cancer that would have just been completely missed otherwise.
And the results so far? They're honestly just stunning. Since November 2024, the AI has analyzed 180,000 scans and found about 24 cases. But here's the kicker. 14 of those were caught in the early stages. And get this, these were patients who were in the hospital for something completely different. They had no clue they were even at risk. The doctor supervising the trial, Dr. Zuclay, puts it very plainly. For those 14 people, this AI was literally the difference between life and death. This, right here, is the promise of AI fully realized. This is it, in action.
But, for every incredible story like that, there's a flip side. There's another story where AI is being used to cause some very real harm. And that brings us to the other face of AI, the moderation crisis.
So it's like this. On one hand, you have an AI that's basically a life-saving diagnostic tool. On the other hand, you have AI being used as a tool to create tons of harmful and non-consensual content, and it's happening at a massive scale. This is that duality we were talking about, in its starkest form.
A perfect and pretty disturbing example is the whole controversy around X's Grok AI. The tool has been used to generate fake, explicit images of women and even minors. It seems like its safety filters were rolled back, and the misuse has become so widespread that multiple countries have actually come out and formally condemned the platform. So, in response, Elon Musk said that users who create illegal content with the tool are going to face the consequences. But a lot of people point out that this addresses the user, not the tool itself or the platform's responsibility for its safeguards. So it's a response that, for many, raises more questions than it answers. All right, let's shift gears a bit. We've moved from these moral extremes to the much, much messier world of consumer tech. And we're going to talk specifically about the second wave of AI wearables. Now, to understand what's happening now, we have to remember the recent past. 2025 was basically a graveyard for AI wearables. You had the Humane AI Pin, which got famously panned, the Rabbit R1 that failed to make a dent, and others like the Limitless pendant that just got acquired and disappeared. They all promised to do everything, but in practice, they did very little well. So what's different this time? Well, the new strategy is focus. Instead of trying to be some all-powerful assistant, the new generation of devices is zeroing in on one very specific use case where AI already excels: transcription and note-taking. It's a much smarter, more targeted approach. And we're already seeing this in action with a couple of new devices, the Plod Note Pen S and the SwitchBot Mind Clip. They're designed to be simple, unobtrusive audio recorders that use AI to transcribe your thoughts, summarize meetings, or create to-do lists. By solving that single, persistent problem, capturing fleeting ideas, they're aiming for a much more sustainable spot in our daily lives. Now, this tension between what AI could be and what it should be, it isn't just external. This conflict is happening right inside the companies and research labs that are building this technology. And that brings us to the internal battle for the future of AI. And wow, there's no better example of this conflict than this statement from Jan LeCun. This guy is a giant in the field, a Turing Award winner, one of the godfathers of modern AI. And he believes the entire industry is betting on the wrong horse with large language models, or LLMs. That's the tech behind tools like ChatGPT. I mean, for him to say that, it's a bombshell in the AI world. And this isn't just talk. After leading Meta's AI research for a decade, LeCun left after a leadership change. He argues that the company's new strategy is completely LLM-pilled, and he believes they're ignoring more promising ways to achieve true superintelligence, an AI that can really reason about the world, not just mimic patterns and data. It's a fundamental scientific disagreement, and it's playing out on a very public stage. So how should we view all of this? The life-saving potential, the destructive misuse, the consumer fumbles, and the internal feuds? Well, the best takeaway might come from Dr. Karim Carr, who reframes this whole conflict. He argues that high-stakes public disagreement isn't a sign of chaos, but of a healthy, dynamic scientific field. This friction, it's not a problem to be solved, it's the very engine of progress. The intense, often messy debate surrounding AI isn't a flaw in its development, it's the essential process that will ultimately shape its future.